You can see the motor isn't really moving at a speed. It's fluctuating back and forth. You can see there it's speeding up, and then here in a little bit it'll speed down. Yeah, you can see there it's kind of getting stuck. So if I speed this up all the way to 100%, you can see there it's losing power. Hello and welcome to another video from oorail. So before I get into this video, I wanted to thank everybody who took the time to watch my previous two videos on the Accurascale Class 37 and who gave me a lot of very useful and handy feedback and comments. I want to really thank the guys who sent me the link to Peter Dixon's Tarrington Road channel. He had a similar problem to what I had with the Class 37. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's probably the same problem. And in that video, he explained that he actually took the motor apart, cleaned the motor's commutator and kind of brush area, and then reassembled the motor, and it basically started working for him. So without that information, I certainly wouldn't have been able to produce this video. So I want to thank Peter for taking the time to put that up, and also for the folks that pointed me in that direction. So in this video, what I want to do is actually show you the problem. So as you see the motor right now, it still has the problem. And this is more for Accurascale as well, who wanted to see exactly what was going on. So you can see here, I've got the Accurascale Class 37 motor completely out of the chassis. It's actually sitting in a 3D printed motor mount. I decided to go off and create a 3D printed motor mount so that would be just easier to do this. I'll make the STL files available as well. Just look in the description. So if you look in the motor flywheels here, there's kind of a white paint mark, and then there's a corresponding white paint dot. These are actually aligned, and I assume it's been done at the factory to align the flywheels with the motor shaft. So what I'm going to do in this video is basically show you and kind of demonstrate what the problem is with the motor. I'm going to run it at 30% speed, then at 50% speed, and then at 100% speed, and you'll see exactly what it's doing. But basically what you want to watch for is you're going to see this motor spin fairly smoothly, and then after a couple of seconds or so, or a minute or so of running, it's going to start kind of tripping out like it's lost a pole, or it's kind of almost fighting itself. And so I suspect that's because there's probably debris that's shorting out one of the poles, and so it's no longer magnetized, and that's why it's slowing down. So it looks like maybe there's contaminants or debris or something like that in that part of the motor. Maybe it was left out of the factory when before they assembled it and they didn't clean them. But it definitely looks like they have a motor quality problem. So I'm going to go and demonstrate this, and then I'm going to do a follow-up video showing how to take this whole thing apart, cleaning it, and hopefully it solves the problem. So I'm going to start off by putting this at about 30% power. So if you watch this flywheel here, you'll see that it's spinning at a fairly consistent rate, and then it'll start to slow down a little bit. It's very intermittent, so it doesn't do it all the time, like when it's on camera, but we'll see. Yeah, I see it slowed down right there. So it was spinning fairly consistently, and then it starts to slow down a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed it up to 50%. It typically happens a little bit more at 50%. So it's spinning pretty consistently. And there you see it's slowing down, and then it picks back up again. And this just gets worse as it goes along, which would explain why it's running on the layout fine for a while, and then starts to cut out and then grind to a halt. So what I'm going to do next is increase it to 100% power. And you can see there it's cut out and then it's picked back up. So it's more noticeable if I do put the camera at this kind of angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop recording here. I'm going to move the camera so that you guys can get that kind of angle and see for yourselves as well. I'll just do that test at the 100% mark. Okay, so we're at the kind of side angle view. You can see the white mark is right there. So I'm going to speed this up to 50%. You can see there now it's spinning at a much faster rate. And I think this is why some of the locos are working fine for a while and then it intermittently has problems, because you can see now the motor is working relatively okay for a period of time here. And you can see there now it's slowed down a little bit. I think too, the speed it's going at, sometimes it will skip over those pulls and it'll pick back up. So it's definitely an intermittent problem. Just not sure exactly what the root cause is yet. So I'm going to increase this to 100%. So this is the motor running at 100% power. Now I would expect it to be running a lot faster than it is, so I suspect there's some issue there, but... Now I know a few folks asked me if I could get the current values off of this, and so I do have an INA 219 based board where I can get the voltage and current and other data off in real time, so I will attach that and show that in an upcoming video as well before I repair it. But you can see there it spun down slightly and then spun back up. Now I ran a couple of tests on this. I tried, tapping it, kind of shaking it a little bit just to see if it's like some kind of loose debris that could work itself loose. But I suspect if it's metal with the magnets in there, it's probably stuck to something, and as it's rotating, it's shorting out. So that's it, I think, for this video. I kind of put this up here more for Accurascale, so that they could check it out, but I knew other folks might be interested in seeing what the issue is with the motor. So I've been a bit busy with work, so I apologize that this took a couple of days to put up. I'm going to take the motor apart later today, and I've got some CRC electric contact cleaner, which I'm going to use. Now to take the motor apart, there's some tabs right here and on the other side, and basically you can pull the shaft back to about here, or sorry, you can pull the casing back to where it hit just short of the flywheel, and that exposes enough, according to Peter Dixon's video, that you can go in there and spray and clean it out. So I'm going to initially probably use a thin screwdriver, maybe a brass brush, and then the electric contact cleaner to try to clean that out, and then see if that solves the problem. The problem is intermittent, so I'm going to probably fix it early in the morning and then let it run all day, and then you'll see a subsequent video probably Thursday sometime, if it all works out really well, and then I'll reassemble the thing. Now if it doesn't work, I went on Amazon and picked up some of these gear pullers, and so worst case scenario, if I can't get the motor working by just opening the tabs and pulling it back, I will remove the flywheels off one side, and then that will completely expose the inside of the motor, and I can take a closer look. I mean, basically got nothing to lose at this point, since the motor definitely has some kind of problem. If anyone's interested, I did hear back from Accurascale Support. They wanted to see a video of what the problem was, and I have not heard back from them since I sent them the link to that video. So I will probably ping them again in the morning if I haven't heard back from them. But hopefully I can get this fixed, and then getting a replacement motor probably isn't a huge requirement. Alright, so like I said, this is it for this video. I'm going to let the video run for a couple of minutes just so Accurascale can get some other information from this. But that's it. Thanks for watching. If you haven't liked or subscribed to the video, if you like it, please go ahead and please subscribe. We've got some cool videos to 3D printing and other tech stuff, as well as more local repairs coming up. Also got a Bachmann Class 37 that arrived yesterday, so I will compare that with the Accurascale one in an upcoming video as well. Okay, so I'm going to run this at about 70% for about 3 or 4 minutes and just let it run so you guys can see what it's doing at 70%. So there is currently at 70% on the Bachmann controller. Okay, so it's been running for about almost 5 minutes at 70% power. You can see it's been fluctuating. There's no weird smells coming off it or anything like that. And it is quite warm to the touch. So I'm going to set it to 100% because that's what you do when it's hot. And it's not super hot, like it's not, I can put my finger on it comfortably, it's not causing any issues, but it is quite warm to the touch though. So that's at 100% power. You can see if I tap it, it's not really doing anything. It's definitely not spinning at 100%. So I'm gonna go, and I think this is when it ultimately grinds. Ooh, it kind of sped up a little bit there. This is where it ultimately kind of grinds to a halt at some point. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shut it down. I'm gonna let it cool, and then I'm going to take it apart and clean it out, and hopefully the next video you guys see is of this thing working a bit better. So I'll put that video up after this one. It might be a couple hours, depending on how much time I have, but I put this one up just so that Accurascale could see exactly what was going on with the motor, and if you got the same problem and you decide to take it apart, you know, hopefully this will help you out as well. Alright, so that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and until next time.